In this video, I'm going to be sharing with you what I would do to get to $10,000 profit per month as soon as possible if I was starting from complete scratch. And what I'll be sharing with you has not only made me millions of dollars, it's made my clients a combined over $50 million in a relatively short time frame. So many people still don't know this model even exists, but it's actually relatively simple to completely copy and paste yourself. Yesterday, I was chatting with a friend, and we were chatting about how for most of what people would consider e-commerce history, most of e-commerce was selling low price items online. But now, with the rapid advancements of technology and artificial intelligence, it's allowing us to do some pretty crazy things. So for example, if you sell expensive products, you can create an online virtual showroom where your customers can literally go virtually walk around, look inside products, and get a full tour of them all from their computer. And it's not just virtual showrooms. There's now softwares for QR codes. Let's say if I'm selling fireplaces, I can put a QR code on my website where if a customer scans that QR code, they can then see what the fireplace will then look like where they want to put it. And we're still in the early innings of this right now. This technology is going to get more and more advanced in coming years. And while e-commerce is still growing, I would imagine that expensive products that cost over $1,000 will see growth 10 times that by 400 or 500% in the coming years as it becomes more and more mainstream to sell these expensive products on the internet. So just to show you guys live some of the stores I'm talking about, you can see the store here is called trollingmotors.net. They sell boat engines and trolling motors. You have all these different SKUs and brands, and this is just right online. They don't have a physical showroom. You can go look at their website. They don't have any location anywhere. This is a little bit crazier one. It's called My Pet Chicken. So they sell chicken coops. Both of these stores are doing millions and millions of dollars per month. So if you don't believe me, I can go to Ahrefs, which essentially shows you a website's traffic. I can put in mytrollingmotors.net. This only counts organic traffic. So they're getting 24,000 people visiting their store monthly completely for free. This store, My Pet Chicken, they're getting 171,000 visitors per month for free. We can see Woodland Direct. This store sells fireplaces, fire pits, patio furniture, barbecues, gas logs, 67,000 visitors per month. Shop Solar Kits. This store does over $50 million a year selling expensive solar supplies. And this right here is the exact same strategy that I've used to help hundreds and hundreds of my clients change their lives. People like Ryan here, who literally went from complete beginner, no experience, to building a store to over $2 million in just 5 months. Or people like Cabrin, who is literally working as a personal trainer for like 10 years, making $3,000 to $4,000 US per month. Within 5 or 6 months, he made $60,000 profit. Or people like Jack and Joel. Jack and Joel actually did e-commerce before they got started. They always struggled selling these low ticket items. They could never gain any traction. They started working with me. In their first 7 months after working with me, they went to over $1.1 million. These stores selling these weird items, they don't even sell their own products. So if you look on any of those websites I showed you, there'll be a section in their menu that says brands. So they are simply the website, and then they're selling for these other brands. If I was selling boat engines, then I could go to the brand section on Trolling Motors website, and I could then reach out to those brands myself, and I could list their products on my own boat engine website. And the best part about this is that means I can be a seller of their products, but I don't have to pay for any inventory in advance. And this is why it costs virtually nothing to get started. Literally all you need to get started with this is a $29 per month Shopify membership. I'll even put in the description a completely free month. And every time you sell an item, you can make thousands of dollars income. I'm not talking about revenue. You can make thousands of dollars profit for every item you sell. Even if you make just a few sales a month, that can absolutely be life-changing income for most people listening to this. Whenever you're getting started in business, the correct question to be asking yourself is, what business model gives me the highest amount of upside with the least amount of risk? So when you first learned to swim, did you just go to the highest diving board and dive in the pool head first? Of course not. You probably dipped your toe in the water, and then as you got more comfortable, you slowly went in more and more. So a huge concern people always say to me is, why would these brands let me sell their stuff? And my response is, I'm not sure why. They just do, or at least enough do for this many people to get results. These brands have been around for a long time. They're not familiar with the online income landscape. They don't want to pay agencies thousands of dollars to run their ads and have to manage these relationships. All they want to do is make an excellent product and then ship it. So when people like us come to them and say, hey, you don't have to pay us anything, but we're going to help you make sales and we just want to cut, then it's an absolute no-brainer for them because they don't have to pay anything for us up front like they would have to for an agency. And if you're concerned about being an expert in your product type, trust me, you can sell pretty much anything. And within a few weeks of building your website and looking into the product, you will know more than 99% of people in the world about whatever it is you choose. And another thing people always worry about is that they personally can't afford the items they're selling. So they think, I can't afford a $25,000 sauna. Why should I be able to sell them? And if you're thinking that, don't worry. The best analogy I can give you is the the analogy of the private jet salesman. Private jets are usually for billionaires. So these people selling these private jets, they often can't afford them themselves, but they still make hundreds of thousands, if not millions of dollars selling them. So how to get started with this business is extremely simple. I recommend you set up an LLC for your business, which should take like a day or two max. You can use platforms like Zen Business or LegalZoom or Stripe Atlas. By simply owning an LLC, you will save thousands of dollars per year in taxes. So I'm not an accountant, I'm not your lawyer, don't take this as legal advice, but in most jurisdictions, depending where you're from, when you own an LLC or a business, you can then write stuff off. Once you have your LLC set up, you need to get a Shopify account, which is where we actually build our virtual showrooms. A student of mine named Shane, he was running a low ticket AliExpress store for a long time. He knew how seasonal and up and down it was. So he started his no inventory dealer store. He hit $14,000 in one single day, which is $3,000 or $4,000 profit within like 20 days of joining. So when we're picking a product, there's a few things we want to look for. First is we want the price point to ideally be over $3,000. The reason why is simple. So if you're selling fidget spinners or even supplements, every time you make a sale, you're going to make like $5 profit. That means to make $2,000, you're going to have to sell around 400 items. But if you're selling an item for like $5,000 where you make $2,000 profit from one sale, you only have to deal with one customer and ship one order, and you make the exact same amount of money. The second thing we want to focus on is demand. Existing buyers already looking for your product. So we want price point over $3,000, existing buyers and existing demand already in the market. And lastly is seasonality. So most of you, when you're starting your first business, you're looking to replace your income. So we don't want to have huge swings in sales all year round. So imagine for a second, two stores. One of them sells desks like this one, and the other one sells Christmas trees. Which store do you think is going to have more stable year-round sales? So even though the Christmas tree store might do very well at Christmas, if you're looking to replace your income, you probably don't want a store that only sells products 3 weeks of the year. You want something that's more stable. So selecting products, this is something that so many people get caught up on. I'm actually going to go live and show you my 2 favorite ways to do this. The simplest, you can use ChatGPT. Put in, I'm looking to start a high-ticket dropshipping store. We want to find products that meet the following criteria. Regularly sold for over $1,000, have 20,000 people per month searching for them, are non-seasonal or just slightly seasonal, do not easily break, are not overly complex or technical, and avoid things like watches and handbags because these are just not good high-ticket e-commerce products. Provide me a comprehensive list of 500 products that you think meet this criteria to make it easier to manage and categorize them. And it will start just spitting out all these different products ideas for you. The second way is I have a proprietary tool called Supplier HQ. This is more for suppliers, which we're going to get to in a minute, but we also have a product explorer section. So you can go on here, go to all categories, and you can see about 1,500 different product ideas, and you can see right here the average search demand for them, and we've only put products on here that are regularly sold for over $1,000. The next part is to find the top suppliers for that product type. As I started working with clients and seeing how much the finding supplier stage held them up, I knew that I needed to create a proprietary tool to solve this huge issue once and for all. And that's when Supplier HQ was born. Let's go with 3D printers as our niche. What I can do is then I can go right here to 3D printers, product explorer, and click view. And now it's gonna have all the 3D printer suppliers as well as these different characteristics of them. So search demand is important for the same reason as when we're selling a winning product. We want to find products that people are already looking for. We also want to find brands that people are already looking for. Let's say if you're selling Napoleon grills, we want there to be a high number of people typing into Google every month, Napoleon grills, because if people are already searching for that demand in high numbers, that's going to make it easier for us to sell. MAP stands for minimum advertised price, meaning that all the stores selling any brand's products have to list at the exact same price point. When you're selling for a brand's products, there could be many stores selling the same brand. What we don't want is all the stores to undercut each other because that will decrease your profit margin. The next thing we want is margin. Margins can range a ton. I've seen as low as 10%, I've seen as high as 70%. Never run advertising for any supplier that gives you under 20%. Ideally, when we're running ads, we want it to be above 30%. I'm gonna show you for this example, saunas. I can see all the different sauna brands right here. I can say search demand, I want the minimum search demand to be 300. And I can put more than one, so I can include all the sauna. So if you're doing saunas, you can sort your products by the most important characteristics, search demand, map, margin. Once you have found a winning product and you found all the top suppliers that meet the criteria I was talking about for that product type, you now need to set up a Shopify store. When you're building your store, what I recommend you do is whatever product type you're selling, you want to find the most successful stores in that space. So what I would do is type in something on Google like buy sauna online. I want to find stores selling saunas. You can take the URL of the store and then bring it to this tool called SimilarWeb and plug it in, and you can look at their traffic. If the store has 20,000 visitors per month, it means they're likely doing quite well. So we can see My Sauna World has 203,000 visitors per month. We can use this as our template. So I'm not saying copy it, but you would want to put a similar background looking image to this. And maybe instead of your custom escape awaits, your dream sauna awaits. The next thing you want to do is you want to run advertising. I use a method called the bullseye method. And the reason it's called the bullseye method is we want to target buyers that have their credit card in hand ready to pay. So to give you an example of what I mean here, if I'm selling selling Napoleon grills, I can target people who literally are searching Napoleon grills online. So when a customer types in Napoleon grills, which was founded in like 1976, and they see you pop up, they're automatically going to trust you because you're selling for Napoleon. So this is legit business, and I've helped countless people make millions of dollars with it online. So at this point where I'm at my journey now, I now have my own brand. So I'm technically a supplier. And what's super cool now is the students who have a store in my brand's niche that are doing really well, I can actually bring them on as dealers for my own products. So many of these people did this working full-time jobs. Others like Chelsea literally made $500 profit on one item while she had 5 kids. These people are not superhumans here. These are normal people just like you, and many of them completely changed their lives using this exact model. So if you want to be one of my next case studies, you can watch my free training, which I'll link below this video, that will show you exactly how to do this A to Z. Or if you want to work directly with me and my team, you can book a call where it says book a call below. You can speak to one of my advisors to see if you're a fit for the program. We will work directly with you on creating your own business. So if you have any questions on any of this, put your comments in the description below and I'll get back to every one of you there. If you want to keep up more with me on my day-to-day life, then I'm going to put my Instagram below. You can follow me on Instagram at ecomwithbrooke. But thanks for watching, guys. Hit subscribe and I'll see you here soon. Cheers.